This podcast is made possible by the listener members of Nashville Public Radio.
This is the Nash Villager Podcast. It's August 20th, 2025. On this day, in 1988, the Iran-Iraq War ceasefire agreement took effect. That may sound distant or far removed from our current moment, but for the Kurdish community, and that community is larger in Nashville than anywhere else in the nation, that war, that year, and that ceasefire was life-changing. And that conflict happens to be at the core of some of Nashville Public Radio's recent and most in-depth reporting. I'm Tony Gonzalez, in for Nina Cardona with today's latest news headlines, an in-depth feature from our station, and an On This Day mini essay to give you context. The 1988 ceasefire came after fits and starts and more than one failed attempt to stop that conflict, spanning a few years. While that impasse continued, Iraq deployed chemical weapons, including against civilians and the Kurds. If you've ever wondered what led so many Kurds to become refugees and to move and to establish community here, the threat in 1988 was genocide. No moment better exemplifies the fear than the chemical attack on Halabja, the site of the largest chemical attack on civilians in history. Our reporter, Rose Gilbert, in her podcast, The Country in Our Hearts, found that Halabja looms large for many local Kurds and for multiple generations of their families. One reason is that the attack there was so well documented by Iranian journalists. And when Rose visited Halabja and survivors and the massacre monument there, she found depictions of journalists playing an important role in history.
Walking outside the memorial, Lukman points out a statue, a man with a camera leaning over to take a picture of two corpses. Immediately I recognized it, a recreation of the most iconic image of this tragedy, one I'd seen dozens of times at this point. A man in traditional Kurdish clothes holding his baby. Both had died in the street while trying to escape.
So this is not any specific figure, but this is a statue for all the photojournalists who came here to respect their work, you know. Because of those photographers that people know about what happened here.
As Rose says in the show, it was an atrocity that Kurds could point to as evidence of how bad things had been. You can learn so much more from Rose's work. It's on our website at WPLN.org/Kurdistan. And this story serves as a powerful reminder of what's at stake when you hear the news this week out of Alaska about the current ceasefire discussion. What happens next in those negotiations between Ukraine and Russia and other world powers, that will become the kind of historical landmark that we might look back on later, generations from now. In just a few minutes, we'll have the latest What, Where Wednesday, this time with insights into the Nashville Shakespeare Festival. That's coming up after the newscast. Are you proud to listen to Nashville Public Radio? You should be, and here's one reason. The local journalism you depend on, it truly is as good as it gets in the world of public radio. WPLN and WNXP stories have recently won regional and national honors for our music journalism, education reporting, the deep interviewing on This Is Nashville, and our in-depth podcasts. When you tune in, you're hearing your neighbors, and they're some of the best journalists in the nation. For WPLN News in Nashville, I'm Tony Gonzalez. We'll have a chance of rain in the early afternoon today, otherwise mostly sunny, and our high temperature not quite as hot as earlier this week. Our temperature will be around 94 today. Now here's the latest from your local newsroom. Members of the Metro Council Women's Caucus are pressing the mayor to address questions about the city's Department of Emergency Communications and its workplace culture. Earlier this year, council members received anonymous emails raising concerns, and beginning in March, the Women's Caucus began meeting with various department employees, union representatives, and Metro staff to discuss allegations and complaints of a culture of intimidation. The caucus then conducted an internal survey of workplace culture, which they say confirmed the existence of issues creating a toxic workplace. Now the caucus has sent a letter to Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell requesting answers to questions ranging from the number of staff departures and exit interview information to the contents of performance evaluations for the department's director. The caucus says this information could help develop new processes for the department. They're requesting that the mayor respond by September 1st. There's been a change at the top of CoreCivic, the Brentwood-based private prison operator. The CEO is stepping down after more than 15 years in charge. The new number one is Patrick Swindle, promoted from the role of president and COO. The Tennessean reports Swindle has been at the center of CoreCivic's move to reactivate idle facilities in preparation for more immigrant detainees. The company has seen a jump in profits and shared with investors that it is seeing its highest ever level of federal detentions. The company has also been embattled by lawsuits over violence within its prisons, and investigations, including by the state, have documented chronic understaffing and frequent overdose deaths. The Trump administration plans to end a $7 billion program to help low-income communities get access to solar power. WPLN's Caroline Eggers reports the move would cut about $150 million of promised funding in Tennessee.
It's already hard to get solar in Tennessee. That's because the Tennessee Valley Authority has a monopoly on electricity, and it's chosen largely to suppress solar. And the households that do install it tend to have higher incomes than the national median. But the idea of this program, called Solar for All, was to let low-income households get rooftop solar, batteries, or possibly a shared community solar system.
It's going to be a real hurt to the state of Tennessee.
Joanne McIntosh is the Conservation Committee chair for Tennessee's chapter of the Sierra Club. She says the investment would have translated to financial benefits for at least 10,000 households.
They're estimating over $3 million per year in annual household savings across the state.
McIntosh suggested there would likely be legal action since the money was already promised. Caroline Eggers, WPLN News.
A long-running public television station is asking residents to rally to its support as a result of a substantial federal funding cut of about $1 million. Support local, watch local is the slogan for Cookeville-based WCTE PBS. The station is holding a special all-day fundraiser today on its 48th anniversary. There will be special programming from 3 to 6 p.m. and again at 7. The station has been locally owned and operated since 1978 and reaches 14 counties. Leaders there are trying to maintain kids programming, cultural and educational shows, and emergency alerts. It's been a banner year for BNA. 24.7 million people traveled through Nashville's airport in the fiscal year that just ended. That's a new record for the facility. This June was the busiest ever single month in the airport's history. The record for busiest day was set on June 11th, a few days after the end of CMA Music Fest and the day before the start of Bonnaroo. The past year was also marked by an uptick in the number of nonstop destinations available from here, including new international airlines beginning service to and from Nashville, Iceland Air, and Ireland's Aer Lingus. Nashville has been expanding beyond country music for a long time. Now it is producing Korean pop hits. Music reporter Justin Barney tells us how Nashville is injecting a bit of the South in South Korea through a new Netflix breakthrough movie.
K-pop Demon Hunters is one of the most popular movies in the world right now. It is number 1 on Netflix's global top 10 movies, and the soundtrack is number 2 on the Billboard charts. The plot for the English-language animated movie is pretty straightforward. As the title suggests, it follows a K-pop girl group who also hunts demons.
They're stealing the souls of our fans? Let's send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong! Yeah!
Throughout the movie, the group sings many songs, and 2 of those songs were made in Nashville by Andrews and Kirk, who have recently become Netflix famous from their appearance on the show Hitmakers. They have produced for big pop stars like Sabrina Carpenter and Ed Sheeran, but their biggest hits have come through the world of K-pop. They have collaborated with 2 of the genre's biggest stars, Blackpink and BTS. This song, Butter by BTS, has over 1.3 billion plays on Spotify. With the success of K-pop Demon Hunters, it is likely that even more Korean pop music will be produced in Music City, Tennessee. From WPLN, I'm Justin Barney.
And finally, the manager of the Nashville Sounds has earned an elite position on the all-time wins list in minor league baseball. Rick Sweet notched win number 2,418 last night. That places him third all-time. He would need at least another full season to have a chance at setting the top record for manager wins. Sweet has led minor league teams for 35 years, including more than 800 games with the Sounds. You'll find more news anytime at WPLN.org.
I'm Marquise Munson, here with another edition of Nashville Public Radio's What Were Wednesday, keeping you up to date with the happenings in Nashville this week. Live music opportunities start Thursday night with backyard sessions curated by WNXP at the Bobby Hotel Rooftop Lounge with Isaiah Huron, Tim Gent, and Samara Sin.
I'm a rolling stone, put you on the burner, rolling stone, put you on the 555.
Also on Thursday at the Blue Room, Nashville band Arts Fishing Club performs and Hiatus Coyote at Brooklyn Bowl. Back at the Blue Room Friday and Saturday with former WNXP Nashville Artist of the Month Bully performing. Also on Saturday, Yo Gabba Gabba is at the Pinnacle. And we wrap up this week's listing with Fitz and the Tantrums performing at the Ryman. For more events, head over to WNXP.org/events.
Don't come back anytime. I've already had your kind. This is your playback. Money grab, but don't come.
This week for What Were Wednesday, we feature Nashville Shakespeare Festival's Summer Shakespeare 2025, happening Thursdays through Sunday from August 21st to September 21st on the Yard at One City. The Nashville Shakespeare Festival was founded in 1988 by a group of actors who wanted to do Shakespeare free of charge in Centennial Park. Growing over the last 37 years to be what it is today, the mission of the Nashville Shakespeare Festival is to educate and entertain the Mid-South community through professional theatrical experiences.
My name is Isabel Tipton-Crispin, and I am the executive director of the Nashville Shakespeare Festival. This year, we will be doing The Merry Wives of Windsor, not the most popular Shakespeare play, but absolutely hilarious. It's centered on this knight named Falstaff, who's kind of just a bumbling, drunk old guy about the town, and he thinks he can swindle two rich wives out of their money by sending them identical love letters, and the wives pretty quickly realize what he's up to and proceed to play pranks on him throughout the show. It's a really awesome show because it centers on these two women being witty and smart. It really centers female friendship and sisterhood and teaching men a few good lessons along the way. And along with the show, every night we have pre-show lectures from local scholars and luminaries. We have the Tennessean pre-show concert series. So before every performance at 6 p.m., we invite not only musicians, but improv groups, opera on wheels, you name it, to come perform before the show. And then we have the show at 7 o'clock. So it's a full night of entertainment, plus food trucks and all of the restaurants around One City as well. We have 17 cast members, most of whom are professional. We also have 8 summer conservatory artists who are pre-professionals who have gone through our intensive training program, formerly known as the Apprentice Company program, that has been around for over 25 years, in which people get trained by the best local teaching artists in voice and speech, acting, monologue prep, and it all culminates in a showcase performance. And then we invite those artists to join us in the summer so they get a professional credit on the resume and professional experience, and they join us for all of the rehearsals and performances in the park. We really pride ourselves in hiring local artists. Almost 95% of the people we hire every year are local to our community. It's really important to us to be a part of sustaining our local arts ecosystem. So we have artists who live here, who can afford to live here, who have contracts with multiple theaters in town. And Nashville Shakespeare Festival is one of the longest contracts in town because we have 5 weeks of performances. So it's something we really take seriously to help sustain our community. Our name is the Nashville Shakespeare Festival, and we tried to make it festive. We tried to bring in as many people as possible, and our goal is to make the art form as accessible as possible. So that's why we've committed to pay what you will. Our suggested donation is $10, but people do nothing. People do $10, people do $50, whatever is within their means, and they can enjoy a night of fun, learning, music, theater, all in one with their entire family. So it's been great to have been able to do that with so many generations of Nashvillians. Summer Shakespeare is our flagship event, but we do indoor performances as well. We also do education tours. One of our biggest education programs is called the Shakespeare Education Experience Tour, in which a troupe of 5 professional actors all get in a van. We pack the set and props and costumes up, and we travel all around Tennessee and bordering states performing abridged versions of Shakespeare inside schools and community centers. And it's a way for us to get the professional theater productions out to more rural areas of Tennessee that might not have the access to come into town to see shows at a place like Nashville Shakespeare indoor shows or TPAC or something like that. So Summer Shakespeare is a huge part of what we do, but it's not all that we do.
For more information about Nashville Shakespeare's Festival, Summer Shakespeare, and other events happening this week, visit WNXP.org. My name is Marquise Munson, and thank you for listening to another edition of What Were Wednesday.
Nashville Public Radio produces this roundup of local news every weekday. Please consider subscribing, aka following, in your favorite podcasting app. And thanks to everyone who has left a 5-star review or a thumbs up or who has told somebody about this show. And of course, everything at WPLN is listener supported. You can make a donation at WPLN.org. Otherwise, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. We'll catch up again tomorrow.